What's going on, family? It's the Lucky Libra in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. As y'all can see by the title, we finna pick up the signs through the houses series with Sagittarius in the ninth house. Shout out to all my Aries Risings. You might be a Pisces or a Taurus rising, but if you got Sagittarius in the ninth house, this video is for you, all right? Let's like, share, subscribe so you continue to build the community up. Tap into my Patreon if you'd like to dive deeper. Tap into my website if you'd like to connect on a one-on-one level with the Lucky Libra. All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the ninth house. What is the ninth house? What area of life does this represent? This area of life represents our educational pursuits. This is a spiritually inclined house, so it deals with all forms of spirituality, spiritual expansion, our experiences. This is the house of Jupiter and Sagittarius. All right, so we're dealing with the house of enlightenment, higher learning, philosophy, religion, long distance travel, culture, foreign culture. Excuse me. And this house ultimately is going to show us what you have a natural knack for learning and a lot of what you signed contracts to experience in this third dimension. All right. So Sagittarius in the ninth house. All right. Sagittarius. Now, first of all, Sagittarius is home here. This is home for Sagittarius. And when a planet or sign is home, it feels like it gets to conduct itself in its natural function, right? Without resistance. And this is the gift and curse to Aries risings. This is the gift and curse to what is such a powerful alignment, because being an Aries rising, you got Aries in the first house. So we're gonna have Taurus in the second house, Gemini in the third house, Libra in the seventh house, Pisces in the 12th house. So all the signs are at where they're supposed to be at, right? Where they resonate at from a home perspective. However, the curse of that is the fact that Aries risings, they manifest a lot of situations in their life where they don't get a reference. They have to be the leader. They have to be first. They have to be the first person to do something. They have to go through the stumbles themselves. You know, they're the ones in their family. They may have older siblings, but there's no one to give them that guidance. You know, they may be the guidance. They may be the examples of taking initiative and transforming, shifting things in your first house in your personal life. So they have this innate gift with their chart lineup, with the ability to have a natural intuition of what needs to be done in each area of life. And they're going to have the gift of having this influence to take initiative in these areas, not waiting for anybody. But there's going to come times where Aries rising be like, man, it would be nice to have a mentor. It would be nice to have a coach. Would be nice to have somebody else in the family that I could look up to for some guidance and information towards the personal aspirations I have, but I gotta do this shit myself. All right. Now, and it can get a little frustrating, but Aries rising, they ain't tripping that much because they want to do shit on their goddamn own. They want to do shit on their own anyways. All right. But when we get Sagittarius in the ninth house, because Sagittarius is home here, then we know that this person is Sagittarius in the ninth house, Aries rising. They're gonna have so much potential to see the heights of the ninth house, right? Because with Sagittarius being the natural sign here, it'll bring natural opportunity and potential to, thrive in this house. So off rip, these people have an impulsive nature when it comes into exploring and adventuring. These are not things that they're going to compromise on, all right? If they're in a relationship environment, career environment, and they feel like it's playing out any form of restriction, Aries, they don't like that word. They don't like that word right there. And when it comes out to any form of restriction, when it comes to exploring, adventuring, pursuing the things that they feel like is going to either bring them knowledge, expansion in any type of shape or form, they jumping right into that shit. Ain't nothing holding them back. They ain't hesitating about nothing with no Listen, Sagittarius in the ninth house, we know Sagittarius is one of the most free-spirited signs in the zodiac. So when we put Sagittarius in the ninth house that deals with exploration, travel, adventure, Aries rising bucket list long as hell. A bucket list long as hell. Aries rising don't never get to conquer their whole bucket list because the shit is OD. They want to travel. They want to experience new things. They want to get out their third house. They want to experience what's out in the world. So these individuals are natural trailblazers, but they go out in the world to build their own experiences, to build their belief system on their own. Aries in the first house can become a deep philosopher, intense researcher here. They're gonna be heavy students of something here, and they're gonna have Aries risings have strong teaching qualities. They have strong teaching qualities. Don't forget, first house is connected to the ninth house. So we see the Mars passion and we see the self intent with this individual, and with the connection to the ninth house throughout their experiences. When they cultivate their own belief system, they can be very personally expressive of it. They can wear it on their sleeves, and it could be very inspiring and motivating. We're dealing with earth house. We're dealing with fire influences right now. We're dealing with fire risings. All right, so we got fire in the fire houses. Whether it was an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius rising, don't expect none of them to hold back any form of expression. And Aries rising can be kind of introverted, right? They could be to themselves, but when they get that Holy Ghost in them with Sagittarius in that ninth house, they could thrive with anything dealing with spirituality and education. Most of these people do thrive with educational matters. So if you're Aries rising, Sagittarius in ninth house, you most likely experience advanced forms of education, grad school, college alone. And then teaching be manifesting in your careers. Because the ninth house, because the ninth house, even though once again, guys, there's a lot of different ways to do different things in the chart, especially when it comes to career. But you have to understand that our experiences and circumstances naturally manifest certain positions and opportunities for us. So Sagittarius in the ninth house, man. First of all, you got to know where Jupiter's at. I should have been said that. You need to know where Jupiter's at. Jupiter rules this house. So whatever house Jupiter's in, you're already going to have a natural knack to want to learn in that house. You're going to be seen as a teacher in that house. You're going to be an example of knowledge in that house. You're going to attract people who I know I said Aries risings be out. We be leaving Aries risings out to dry sometimes, but with the house that Jupiter is in, you may manifest some sort of guidance, mentor, something to aid you and make sure, keep you aligned with the things that you feel like you should be experiencing, things that you should be exploring, or at least pursuing more knowledge of. And yes, this house is gonna have a whole lot to do with what you're gonna experience, period. So you need to know what house Jupiter's in. It's gonna bring all of that shit to the ninth house. So, intense philosophers. These people can see the glass half full when it comes to their experiences. So they can have an optimistic outlook on their experiences. Aries can have a little pessimistic nature. Aries risings can have a little pessimistic nature because it's Mars. Mars is a little bit of a malefic, could ride on the negative charge a bit, and so you put Sagittarius in here, optimistic house, optimistic sign. So when it comes to this person's experiences, the things that they have been through, all right, regardless if it was a dark experience or something they couldn't make light of in the moment, over time they can extract optimistic ideals from these things, and that's what'll start developing these morals and these ethics with Sagittarius and ninth house. This is what starts helping this person cultivate their own belief system, But there could be a sense of scatteredness here. Because Sagittarius in ninth house is going to overly stimulate the theme of experiencing. So as an Aries rising, you will attract people, places, things, circumstances, situations in your life that, miscellaneous shit. And it could scatter your life up a little bit. So you need to have a sense of stability and order and structure. You're already going to have a nature to want to just dive into things dealing with exploration. But you're also going to attract these things from the external. I mean, you got to know when to pace yourself. You got to know when to do things with discernment and jump into certain activity with discernment. But like I said, there could be a very impulsive nature here to learn and experience new things here. All right. When you have Sagittarius in this house, this is already somewhat of a karmic placement, that shows this person is gonna, spiritual development is almost forced on this individual, Sagittarius in the ninth house. You're forced to look at your experiences. You're forced to develop, a deeper meaning, a deeper outlook and philosophy to things dealing with life. You're not here to look at this reality from a mundane perspective. All right. So Sagittarius forces you to be open-minded. It forces you to be understanding here. It forces you to be a sponge when it comes to your experiences, knowledge, and the things that you're taught. All right. So this is why these people dealing with this influence of having damn near feeling forced to be the student, even though they're going to have a natural knack to just want to learn, period, it's kind of like they get the both energies, and because they're forced into these situations, this is what cultivates a great teacher, a passionate teacher. you know? This is another placement that, like, they're not gonna, this is another placement, Aries rising, Sagittarius in ninth house. They can't feel, a part of them is not gonna feel comfortable if they didn't embrace a chapter of their life to explore spirituality on their own, all right? I know a bunch of Aries risings, and a lot of them have thrived in the educational field. I know two off the top of my head that are actual teachers. And, you know, Sag in the ninth house, Sag in the ninth house, it'll create opportunities for this person through education, you know? So this person could just be personally expressive of something that they know, but it could come off with conviction. It could come off with real conviction. It could come off real enlightening, you know? It could be an alluring energy for people to attach to. But with all that being said, this person is there 9 out of 10 times. They're going to feel like they need to embrace a chapter of life to find spirituality on their own. And they could explore their ass like a motherfucker just to, you know, feel like they're honing in on what their belief system is here. Okay? But these people have to remain open-minded, have to remain understanding. You know, these traits will be more so easier to align with when they're in the educational department, this, that, and the third. But it's still Aries rising. Sometimes you gotta understand, Sagittarius, arguably the smartest sign in the zodiac. So you got in the ninth house, Aries rising, already a bit stubborn. So this placement, you know, this combination of energies can play out a know-it-all type of individual. So Aries, y'all can't allow yourself not to be coachable. Y'all can't allow yourself not to be taught. You know, because you could soak up way more than others. But the moment you get too fixed on one way of looking at things, you got Sagittarius in ninth house. You're supposed to be mutable here. You're supposed to be real adaptable. Learn from this religion. Learn from this philosophy. Don't condense yourself to nothing. Be light. Be open. Keep spreading. That's the Sag fire in the ninth house. All right? But let's not get too scattered and unstable out this motherfucker. Okay? But yes, some opportunities, definitely a bit of luck when it comes into the educational department. All right. The in-laws can have the in-laws could be real optimistic, nice personalities, free-flowing energy here, especially the father-in-law, you know. The in-laws may have some type of authority figure or some prestige, especially with things dealing with education, you know. That's going to be big there. That is going to be big there, okay? But, you know, these individuals may also, they thrive off of being able to feel like they're enlightening others, you know? So this is why they may love to teach, because being able to, Sagittarius is a very enticing, exciting, it's fire. It's enticing. It's you know, it's very dynamic energy. So when these people give off their knowledge and wisdom and their experiences, and they could see how they're bringing expansion to somebody else, they're bringing clarity and confirmation to somebody else. This lights up the Aries rising. This lights up Sagittarius in the ninth house, you know. And this just helps to propel everything they're doing from an educational pursuit here, you know. Okay, so very upbeat individuals. They can be very upbeat individuals. Kind of a restless nature here as well. But yeah, that's what's going on with Sag in that ninth house, man. That's what's going on with Sag in that ninth house. You know, deep philosophers, huge love knack for learning. You know, natural opportunities are created from them just simply displaying their knowledge for something. Okay, like I said, that Jupiter gives that enlightening conviction. And then you got Mars in the first house, their personality. So how they deliver, express it, you know, comes with some conviction. You know, they're going to stamp some knowledge on your ass. They're like, that's what it is. When we're looking at that Sag in the ninth house, man. You feel me? But the most important thing to take away here is, you know, having discernment with what type of activity you get persuaded or influenced or intrigued to jump into. because Sag in ninth house of your life could just, this is just a bunch of episodes here. Whenever you got stimulated ninth house, stimulated Jupiter influences in the chart, you know, you're gonna be experiencing a lot. It could feel hard to get stable sometimes. It could get hard to feel like, you know, you in the present. There's a lot going on. And then even when you're putting your schedule and regiment together, with, mind you, what house squares the ninth house? The sixth house. So our experiences and exploration sometimes can build distractions with our sixth house, with the regiment, routine, lifestyle that we want to maintain. So we have to be able to find that balance between these houses. Okay? But with all that being said, man, that Sagittarius up in that ninth house. Shout out to all my Aries risings, okay? Another thing about that, like I said, y'all got to be the first to do everything. So Sagittarius in the ninth house, you know, I know a lot of you Aries risings, you manifest them situations where you break free from, you know, certain traditions and cultures you may have been brought up on, all right? Because Sagittarius got to get out there and see what else is out there. So even with Sagittarius here, especially in school, all stages of school, elementary, middle school, junior high, high school, college, you're going to come in contact, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether you go to boarding school at a young age, whether you're into some type of extracurricular activity, sports, some type of competition. Sagittarius in the ninth house will definitely put you in situations before you even hit 18, 21. You already know a bunch about other different cultures. You already know a bunch about, you got friends that's Indian, you got a friend that's Dominican, you got a friend from Brazil. And you know shit about everything out this motherfucker. You were exposed to the fact that, you know, different cultures conduct themselves in different ways. So, you know, as these people mature and get older, these are all the things that start to intrigue them some more with dealing with, you know, traveling. These people may want to study abroad too. They may want to study abroad, or like I said, just have a long bucket list for doing things overseas, long bucket list for doing things outside of the third house, okay? Sagittarius got to get out there and get it. Got to get out there and get it, all right? So that's what we got going on, y'all. Sagittarius up in that ninth house. Shout out to all my Aries risings, Pisces, or Taurus risings in the building. Tap into my Patreon if you like to dive deeper. Tap into my website if you like to connect on a one-on-one level with the Lucky Libra. Next episode, we get into Capricorn in the ninth house. All right, family? Like, share, subscribe so we continue to build the community up. And your boy's up out of here. Peace.